Hi my friends, how are you all? It's Samantha back here with another video, and we've got another winter theme thing going on today. I thought we would have a look at these icicles. Now here I've made 5 of them into a beautiful sort of collar type necklace. I'm going to put a quick little tiny clip of video to show you what it looks like either around the neck or on a bust, because this guy looks so much better on than it does on the table. So I'm going to probably splice that in around about here. Splice, is that the right word? I'm not very technical. As you probably guessed by now. I just make videos and I don't do very much editing because I'm rubbish at it. So I've made myself this gorgeous icicle style necklace here with these beautiful points, if you will, and some little dangly things here. So today I thought we would make the matching earrings. If you like a suite of jewellery, I do sometimes it's not necessary, but I quite like a suite sometimes. So we're going to make a pair of earrings to match these guys today. Excuse my fingers, I've been doing a bit of picking this week. Sadly, don't know if there's any sort of finger pickers out there, but it doesn't look very attractive, does it? So I'm sorry about that. Ignore my fingers. So let's go through a list of materials to make these little daggers. All right, so I'll just pop that out of the way. How beautiful it looks. Sparkly and perfect for winter jewellery. Do you have like seasonal jewellery, you guys? Do you like wear particular pieces in the summertime and some in the winter? I like seasonal jewellery. I think it's quite pretty. So let's have a look what we need. Very, very briefly, we're going to need some 0.5 millimetre, that's 24 gauge. I'm using silver plated copper wire in soft. All right, so that's that. Let's just pop these out the way, these sparkly things. What else are we going to need? We're going to need some beads for this. So I shall run through what I used and then you can decide, you know, what you want to use. So I'll bring this in here. So for this here, I used a variety of beads. Now, along the years, I've been collecting all sorts of beads. These are all check glass. I have like these little boxes with all sorts of various, you know, categorized in different colors. So have a look and see what you've got in your stash, essentially. But for these guys here, I used these cute sparkly. You can get these in you know, in cases, in sets, and I used these guys here. So I'll have a look at the sizes of these and I will list everything that you need in the description box. So sparkly beads for the top one. I used these are 6 millimetre white pearls, which are just beautiful for the next bead down. And then I used another set. These are clear crystal, rock crystal, you know. So I used one of that size. So again, it's just a matter of going through your stash and seeing what you've got that, you know, that you could make to look like icicles. What else? I also used, these are 4 millimetre, these little guys here. So like coated pearl check fire polish beads, which I thought was quite pretty. So I'll take a couple of those out. Oops. I'm sure if you're anything like me, you've got a ragingly massive stash of beads and jewellery making things. So you just literally go through and have a look at what you've got. And what else? And I use these 3 millimetre, again check fire polish, but these are crystal AB for the very last little bead at the bottom there. Just take a couple of those out. 1 and 2. Aren't they pretty? Absolutely. I don't think you can actually pick up how sparkly and lovely these are on camera, sadly. So just, you know, go through your beads, have a look what you've got. So that's what I'm using. Like I said in the description box, I will pop in, you know, what I've used. And look at these. These are check glass daggers. Now, how much are they in length? About 1.5 centimetres, which is about 3/4 of an inch, something like that. So I'm going to use a couple of those. I think they're really, really pretty. These are like in a milky white. But again, like I say, use what you've got in your stash. Let me know how large your stash is. I'm hoping it's larger than mine. So here we are with our wire, our beads that we're going to be using. All right, and for this actual dagger section here, all you're going to need is your tools, your flush cutters, your bail making pliers, or indeed your round nose pliers. I use these guys because I like them, and these are 2 to 9 increments in case you wondered. And just your collection of your very favourite tools, chain nose pliers, needle nose, that kind of thing. All right, so let's get going. Oh, a couple of ear wires for your earrings. All right, so I'm just going to show you how to make the dagger, and then you can use it for, or use them for whatever you want. All right, so I'll see you in a few minutes when you've got all your stash together. And drink the eggnog, or have, I don't know, mulled wine. Is it that time of day where you are? It's time for a coffee for me. Don't get too drunk. Okay, are you still sober? I'm still sober. Shame. Time for an eggnog or something like that. So, in order to make these beautiful, sparkly little sort of icicle dagger type things, all right, you're going to need to bring in your wire, and I'm going to suggest, I've been using about 26 centimeters of this, which sounds very specific, but as I've been making these guys, it's worked out 26 centimeters. So I'm going to suggest you use, I don't know, 30 centimeters, 12 inches, and then, you know, determine how much of a wrap you want around your daggers. If you want, you know, if you want a thicker sort of wrap, then obviously you're going to need 30 centimeters. If you want a not so thick wrap, then you'll get away with 25. So let me just measure. 6 inches. Yeah, that should be about right. I'm just going to use a little extra just to be on the safe side for me. Okay, right. So this is our wire, as you can see here. Just pop that out of the way. Right. So first thing we want to do is to, wrap our little dagger bead on. So I'm going to say, what's that? How many centimeters is that, Sammy? Let's have a look. Yeah, about 6 centimeters along, 2.5 inches, something like that. Pop your dagger bead on like so. Oops, can't see. There we go. There we go. So the only thing you need to do basically is just make sure that the hole obviously is, you know, sufficiently sized to fit your wire through. So what we're going to do is bend our wire over and the large side under, so that we have this crossing like so. All right, you've done these before, I'm absolutely sure you have. So the next thing we need to do is just to pop a tiny bit of an angle on here, make it straight like so, and then we want to start this wrap. Now I do this by hand, you can do this however you want. With it being 0.5, it's pretty malleable is this wire, and it doesn't need to be very hugely neat. Make it scrappy like I like it, just wrap it round like so, and just come in and just squeeze your wire. Just squeeze until it's nice and neat, like so. So we literally have, we literally have this on the end of this bendy wire. That's what we're looking for. Okay. The next thing we need to do is to start putting our beads on. So I've gone from the smallest. So we just literally thread our little beads on. So small, and then the next one along, which is this check fire polish bead here, like so, and just keep popping them on until you've got them all on, like so, and like so, and the last big sparkly one. Nice little rondelle. Like I say, down in the description box I'll put the sizes of the ones I've used, but again, just use whatever you've got. Okay, so this is what we have. So we have this here with our beads on. Sorry, I had to take a little bit of a break there because of laundry duties. Anybody else know what that's like? Yes, the wonders of being a stay-at-home parent. Okay, so what we're going to be doing now is to make our little loop here at the top, and we're going to be wrapping the wire around the beads. Okay, so in order to fit the wire around the beads, you're going to need to leave about 1/2 centimetre gap here. So when we make our loop, make about 1/2 centimetre gap so that you've got this, so that you've got this here, which is about 1/2 centimetre. All right, and that just means that the wire has got space to, you know, to wrap around. Okay, so then we use I'm using the second step on my plier to make a wire wrap loop. Keep everything nice and neat if you can. And if you can't, then hey ho, does it matter? It doesn't really, does it? Come in with your flat nose or, you know, your wider chain nose or whatever. Now again, I do this by hand, mainly because the wire is pretty malleable at this stage and I find it easier to do it by hand. And then I wind around once and then twice, okay? So that we've got our loop here and then 2 wraps. All right, so again, somebody mentioned when I talk about left-handed, do I have left-handed person in the family? Actually, yes, I do. One of my children is left-handed, so I'm always really conscious, actually, of making sure that I cater for the left-handed people in the world as well, because there are, you know, quite a lot of you. All right, so this is what we have here. So these beads are just jingling around a little bit here, as they will be doing. So we're going to wrap this guy around the top of this one. All right, so this is just slightly fiddly, the first one, until you get going. So hold that up to these wraps here, if you can, and bend this around. Now, I know some of that is hidden by my fingers because it needs to be. All right, so can you see how that wraps around there? You want to wrap underneath and then go over the top. So just one wrap there, all right? Keep everything nice and straight. Push the next bead up, and obviously we've wrapped here. Now this time we're going to wrap over the top of the pearl. All right, so wrap and underneath and over the top, like so. All right, so can you see here we've got a wrap here and then a wrap over the top, and then you want to bring it underneath, ready for a wrap on the opposite side. So this next bead here, move it up like so. I'm trying to keep my big fat fingers out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So the next bead is this one here. We want to wrap over the top, underneath, and then back over the top. So if you can see here, we're wrapping in opposite ways. So the bottom, over the top, the bottom. And this one, over the top. So we want to wrap it around the bead, like so, over the top, and back underneath again, like so. And then our final wrap is underneath again. This is this lovely little fire polish bead here at the end. You see that? And then around. And this takes us back to our dagger. Now, we've only loosely started the wrapping of the dagger when we initially, you know, sort of attached it. And this is the bit now where you can be as neat or as sort of funky or as, you know, squiggly as you like. All right, so we wrap, and then I just sort of wrap a few times, like so, down the bead a bit, and then just have a look and see. The only thing to remember is that if you're making a few of these is to try and get them to look pretty similar. All right, so that looks pretty similar. Back down there, and over, like so. So how does that look? Wonderful. Okay, so because I use 30 centimeters, I've got about this much left. So I'm going to say 30 centimeters would give you plenty of room for maneuver. And then just wrap it to the back and cut with your, where are they? There they are, with your flush cutters. Snip, and then come in with your pliers. If I can see what I'm doing, which I can't, bear with me. There we go. Just literally neaten that up. And there is your beautiful icicle. How gorgeous is that? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So I'm going to be making a pair of earrings out of these guys. So what I'll do now is just come in with the ear wire, and there we go, and pop this guy on the ear wire, which is just gorgeous on its own, isn't it? How lovely is that? I wish you could see the sparkle on these. So just pick out of your stash all your lovely sparkly beads. And whilst we're chatting, I'm just going to make the second one. So whilst we're chatting, tell me how you've been. What have you been up to? I know this time of year can be a little bit stressful for some people, can't it? My kids are neurodiverse, as you well know. I've told you guys a few times that that's what my family dynamic is. So historically, Christmas has been a time of stress for my family, mainly because not all neurodiverse kids, but quite a lot of neurodiverse children don't like the stress of it all. So, you know, what some families have fun with all the lights and the colours and the noise and all that kind of thing. But sadly, for some neurodiverse families, that's not always a good thing. So do you have stress at Christmas? I think if you're cooking for a lot of people and you've got a lot of family coming, there's a huge stress, isn't there, to make sure that everything's perfect. So the older I get, the more I realise that, you know what, it's not about how many sprouts there are. It's not about how many presents you gift. It's about your family, and it's about what makes you feel happy, isn't it? So I hope you have a stress-free time. I think I'm going to do another Christmas winter related design, and then I'm going to start looking forward to the new year. So it's a time of renewal, isn't it? New year, new things, new excitements, new journeys, you know, time for newness when the new year comes. You should really, I suppose, think like that all year round, but, you know, a lot of people can look at the new year and look at it as being a time for new beginnings. So with that in mind, if there's anything you'd like to see on this channel in the new year, then please let me know. Because this channel, as much as it's my hobby and as much as it's lovely to sort of share what I've been making with you guys, you know, we are growing on this channel. So recently, I think I've just hit 26,000 subscribers, which is insane amount of people. But I would also like for you guys to be involved in how the channel goes. So, you know, let's make it a community. It is a community, I think. So let me know if there's anything that you would like to see on this particular channel. So as you can see here, I'm just bending this around and then under, ready for the next one, like so. So let me know in the comments, is there anything you'd like to see me try and make? Because don't forget, I'm not an expert. I just have a faff around with beads and wire and all sorts of other things. But if there's something that you would like to see, let me see if I can work it out. try and make it, and then we'll have a look, shall we? I think that would be fun, wouldn't it? So let me know. And also, if you are interested, there is my private Facebook group where you can show what you've been making, you know, just connect with like-minded people. So I'll put the link in the description below. There's, you know, nearly 700 people, I think, in there. All right, so we've got this again. Can you see how we've gone under, over, and then under again? So you can make these sat in front of the TV, make like a dagger sort of necklace like I've done, or indeed you could make them as charms using bigger beads, I guess. That would be really nice, I think, using charms for a handbag or something like that. A little bit more wrapping there, I think, Sammy. Take that back round and there. Make them as scrappy or as neat as you like. There we go. I think I'm happy with that. A little bit of wastage there, but that again doesn't matter, does it? It's only a little bit, maybe a couple of inches. If you're happy with that, come back in, give it a bit of a tighten. Make sure everything's nice and neat and tidy if you like. Just make sure that that's not a sharp edge. And there we have our second little icicle bead. Isn't that beautiful? So I can see these being used as, you know, as charms on things like zipper pulls, you know, that kind of thing. If you've got kids or grandchildren, it'd be lovely on a zipper pull, wouldn't it? Or indeed, you could make ornaments out of them. In fact, you could make larger versions of those and pop them on your Christmas tree, I'm absolutely sure. So let's just pop that on. Like I said, let me know in the comments what you'd like to see on this channel going into 2025. We are a community, so your voice matters here as much as mine. And let me know how your Christmas is going. If you're getting stressed, please don't. And don't forget, we're a safe space here. So if, you know, in times of stress and strain, if you're starting to feel the stress a little bit, just come on the channel and we'll have a chat. All right, so there we go. How beautiful is that little set there? So all I've done is popped 5 of these little beauties, and then I've used some little droplets here. And again, I shall pop them on a bust and show you what they look like off the table. So enjoy making those, guys, and I will see you very, very shortly for my next video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.